rise and fall of South Africa's forgotten city. Look, man, we're going to go ahead and check this one out, guys. Link to this vid will be in the description if you guys want to check it out on your own. Let's get right into it, man.
I asked you to name 5 South African cities. You'd probably say Johannesburg, Cape Town, Durban, Pretoria, and maybe even Bloemfontein. Because these are the cities that dominate the country's economy, politics, and culture. But there was a time when another city seemed to have a brighter future than all of them. Long before Johannesburg became the country's economic capital, Kimberley seemed destined to shape South Africa's future.
Kimberley, I've heard of Kimberley.
It was the center of the world's diamond
place.
Industry, one of the richest places in southern Africa, and home to the company that would go on to control almost every diamond sold on Earth. Its wealth financed railways, built fortunes, and helped expand the British Empire across the African continent. Everything suggested that this city was on its way to becoming one of the greatest in Africa. Yet somewhere along the way, its future changed. Today, its grandest days survive mostly in museums, old photographs, and the enormous crater that first brought the world to its doorstep. So what happened? How did Kimberley go from the richest city in southern Africa to one of the country's most overlooked places? In 1867, a 15-year-old boy named Erasmus Jacobs found a small white pebble on the banks of the Orange River near the town of Hopetown. It turned out to be a 21.25 carat diamond, later named the Eureka diamond.
All right, I see what you're doing for people, bruh. I see what you're doing. 15 years old. I see what you're doing. You feel me? I just need that one thing, bruh. Lord, I just need that one thing. You feel me? Look at this diamond, y'all. What you doing? You find a diamond like that. You 15 years old. You just stumble upon it. Come on, Lord, I know what you're doing for people. I just need one, fam.
And its discovery set off one of the greatest mineral rushes in history. At first, many dismissed the find as an isolated curiosity, but as more diamonds were uncovered across the region, it became clear that southern Africa contained one of the richest diamond deposits ever discovered. Within just a few years, tens of thousands...
Just like that? Y'all, is that really how diamonds be? Just like that, just chilling in the soil? I thought maybe you had to chip some rock, you know what I'm saying? It's just chilling like that.
Thousands of prospectors from across southern Africa, Europe, Australia, and North America had descended on the region. They carved out what would become the largest hand-dug excavation on Earth,
oh my gosh,
known as the Big Hole. By the time mining ended in 1914, it had reached a depth of more than 215 meters and yielded roughly 14.5 million carats of diamonds.
Oh my
the landscape
goodness.
changed almost beyond recognition. What had once been an isolated hill known as Colesberg Kopje was divided into more than 3,000 individual mining claims, each worked by miners armed with little more than picks, shovels, ropes, and buckets. As they dug deeper in search of diamonds, the hill itself slowly disappeared beneath them, while a sprawling settlement of tents, corrugated iron shacks, workshops, trading stores, and hotels spread across the surrounding veld. The rapid expansion of the diamond fields also created an enormous demand for labor. Mining companies recruited thousands of African workers from across southern Africa. As concerns over diamond theft grew and mining became increasingly organized...
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck with you. If they was to hire me to work in one of the, bro, I'm sliding with, come on, fam. What you mean? First of all, they probably ain't paying me nothing but a couple nickels. So you feel me? Come on, fam. Hey, messing with me. Hey, I was gonna risk it, y'all. They was gonna have to shoot me. I ain't gonna hold you.
Companies introduced closed compounds where many African workers lived under strict supervision for the duration of their contracts. The compound system helped mine owners control their workforce and protect the diamonds they produced, while laying the foundations for labor practices that would later spread throughout South Africa's mining industry. The diamond fields soon became too valuable for neighboring states to ignore. The Orange Free State claimed the territory, the Griqua people under Nicholas Waterboer insisted it belonged to them, and Britain saw an opportunity to secure one of the richest mineral discoveries in the world. In 1871, the British annexed the diamond fields as Griqualand West, bringing Kimberley under direct imperial administration. The decision guaranteed political stability for investors encouraged even greater flows of British capital into the mines, and firmly tied the city's future to the British Empire. The wealth generated by the mines transformed Kimberley at an extraordinary pace. Permanent brick
I often wonder, bro, what would things look like? What would life look like if the British didn't start colonizing everything? You feel me? Like, what would South Africa look like if British didn't colonize? What would the US look like if the British never went over the, like, what would things look like today, bro?
buildings replaced temporary structures, businesses expanded, and the city developed into the commercial center of the global diamond trade. A railway connection to Cape Town linked the mines to the coast, telegraph lines connected Kimberley with the rest of southern Africa, and in 1882, the city became the first in the southern hemisphere to install electric street lighting. At a time when much of southern Africa remained sparsely populated,
Kimberley was going crazy.
Kimberley had become one of the continent's most modern urban centers. Its population reflected that transformation. By the 1880s, more than 50,000 people lived in Kimberley, making it one of the largest cities in southern Africa. Merchants traded diamonds worth millions of pounds, engineers developed new mining techniques, and investors arrived from London convinced that the city's future had only just begun. For a brief moment in history, Kimberley appeared to have everything a great city could ask for: extraordinary wealth, modern infrastructure, international investment, and an industry that dominated the world. Among the thousands of people who arrived in Kimberley during the Diamond Rush was an 18-year-old English immigrant named Cecil Rhodes. He came to South Africa in 1870 officially for his health, but quickly realized that far greater opportunities lay beneath the ground than in the country's climate. Like many others, Rhodes began by purchasing small mining claims, but unlike most prospectors, he understood that the real money would not come from finding diamonds. It would come from controlling the mines themselves. As mining continued, the limitations of the early claim system became increasingly obvious. Thousands of individual miners worked side by side, digging deeper every year as the walls of the big hole became steeper and more dangerous.
I know they wasn't paying them nothing but a bunch of nickels, bruh. I promise you, I would have ran away with some diamonds, at least one or two. And then they would have never heard from me again. I would have moved out to Japan, China, somewhere. You feel me?
Claims frequently collapsed, flooding became a constant problem, and moving large quantities of rock required increasingly expensive machinery. Small claim owners struggled to keep up, forcing many to sell their land to larger investors who had the capital to continue mining at greater depths. Rhodes recognized the opportunity before almost anyone else. As mining became deeper and more expensive, he began buying up struggling mining claims across Kimberley, gradually consolidating dozens of independent operations into larger companies. His greatest rival was Barney Barnado, another immigrant who had built an equally powerful mining empire through the Kimberley Central Mining Company. For years, the two men competed fiercely for control of the diamond fields, driving up the price of mining claims and battling for investors. By 1888, however, Rhodes had secured financial backing from the Rothschild banking family in London and negotiated the purchase of Barnado's company. The deal brought the two largest mining empires together under a single company, De Beers Consolidated Mines. The company controlled almost all of Kimberley's major diamond mines, and within a few years, it was producing around 90% of the world's diamonds. No company had ever exercised such control over a single gemstone. By limiting the number of diamonds released onto the market, De Beers prevented prices from collapsing despite the enormous quantities being mined, creating a business model.
Question, y'all. Do y'all think lab-made diamonds are making the value for actual diamonds go down? I'm gonna give y'all my opinion. I believe that lab-made diamonds are making the value of actual diamonds go down because a lot of times you can't even tell, like from the naked eye, you can't even tell the difference between a lab-made diamond and an actual diamond, right? So I feel like the value of diamonds, I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but I just feel like the value of diamonds might go down in the future.
Model that would dominate the global diamond trade for more than a century. The wealth generated in Kimberley transformed Rhodes into one of the most influential men in the British Empire. It financed his political career as Prime Minister of the Cape Colony, funded British expansion into Central Africa, and gave its name to the territory that would become Rhodesia. Kimberley had produced far more
Rhodesia, isn't that Zimbabwe right there?
than diamonds. It had created one of the world's most powerful corporations and helped shape the political future of Southern Africa.
The gold rush.
However, in 1886, everything changed. On a rocky ridge nearly 500 kilometers to the northeast, an Australian prospector named George Harrison discovered traces of gold on a farm in Witwatersrand. At first, the discovery attracted little attention. Many assumed this would be another small gold field that would eventually fade away. Instead, prospectors had uncovered the Witwatersrand Reef, the richest gold deposit ever discovered. Stretching for more than 100 kilometers beneath the Highveld, it would eventually produce around 40% of all the gold ever mined in human history. The difference between the Witwatersrand and Kimberley was not simply the size of the deposits. Diamonds generated enormous wealth, but they remained a specialized industry centered on a handful of mines controlled by a single company, while gold demanded deep-level mining, requiring vast amounts of capital, advanced engineering, and a workforce on a scale Kimberley had never seen. Every new mine attracted more investors, more businesses, and more workers, creating an economy that extended far beyond the mines themselves. Investors who had once financed the diamond fields redirected their money towards the rand, while engineers, merchants, and entrepreneurs followed the opportunity.
So are they still digging up? I don't know if this is a dumb question, but are they still digging up gold today? Like to this day, are they still like finding more gold, more gold, more gold? Like have they dug it all up, or is it still going? Like, is it an infinite amount of gold over there?
These created by the gold industry. Banks established new headquarters closer to the country's fastest growing economy. Railway lines expanded to serve the mines, and Johannesburg grew from a dusty mining camp into the financial and industrial center of Southern Africa in little more than a decade. Kimberley still remained an important city,
good.
and De Beers continued to dominate the global diamond trade. But the city's role had fundamentally changed.
What happened?
The decades that followed were marked by a gradual decline. Kimberley's mines continued producing diamonds well into the 20th century, yet the richest sections of the original kimberlite pipes had already been exhausted. Mining moved deeper underground, where extraction became slower, more dangerous, and significantly more expensive. The extraordinary profits that had fueled the city's explosive...
I'm just going to assume, I don't mean to keep pausing it. I'm just going to assume, and this might go for gold as well. Like, of course, there's probably more gold deep below, but like he was saying, it becomes more expensive, you know, more dangerous. So like, I feel like it you know what I'm saying? It declines, like the producing it declines because of how much more it costs to do it. And the safety risks behind it. That's what I assume.
Growth became increasingly difficult to sustain, and the era of easy fortunes was over. As the years passed, even the company that had been born in Kimberley began looking elsewhere. New diamond discoveries in other parts of Southern Africa, particularly in Botswana and northern South Africa, gradually became more important than the aging Kimberley mines. De Beers expanded its operations far beyond the city where it had been founded, and when the historic underground Kimberley mines finally closed in 2005, more than a century of continuous mining had come to an end. 11 years later, the company sold its remaining mining assets in Kimberley, ending 127 years of direct ownership of the mines that had built its fortune. Like many cities built on
they milked them dry and left.
Single resource, Kimberley was forced to redefine itself. Mining remained part of the local economy, but it could no longer support the level of growth the city had experienced during the diamond rush. Government administration, education, healthcare, retail, and tourism gradually became increasingly important, while the city's population grew far more slowly than South Africa's major metropolitan areas. Today, Kimberley is the capital of the Northern Cape and home to roughly 250,000 people. The Big Hole, once surrounded by thousands of miners digging day and night, has become one of South Africa's best-known historical attractions. The Grand Victorian buildings, wide streets, and old mine headgear still reflect the extraordinary wealth that once flowed through the city. Kimberley never became the city many believed it would. Yet few places have shaped the country's history more profoundly. The railways, mining companies, labor systems, and foreign investment that transformed South Africa all gathered momentum here.
Wow. Shout out Kimberly though, man. Shout out Kimberly though. Look, I hate to see it, bro. They went there, took all the diamonds, milked them dry, and left. That's what it looked like. But look, man, comment down below y'all thoughts, bro. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction commentary. Link to this vid will be in the description, man. Will be in the description. Stay tuned for the next one, y'all. Peace.